A large number of people in India do not understand numbers very well.
Yes, sir.
And on the other hand, there is a flood of data in newspapers and elsewhere. Do you think data is being used to manipulate people in India?
I don't think, sir, that data has been used to manipulate. Yes, sometimes they don't reflect the ground realities, but they give us uh, some ground to work on what to do.
Okay. So, what are the measures of central tendencies?
Sorry, sir.
What is mean?
Sir, mean of any data is the average of that.
Can we use average and mean word interchangeably?
Yes, sir.
What is median?
Sir, median is the number which comes exactly at the center of any series, sir.
Any series. Suppose I give you numbers 5, 4, 7, 8, 4. What is the median of it?
Sir, 5, 7,
5, 4, 7, 8, 4.
5, 4, 7, 8. Well, then the median will be 7, sir.
Sorry, but wrong answer. What is mode?
Sir, mode is the number whose frequency is the most in any series, sir.
Okay. So again, 5, 4, 7, 8, 4. What is mode of it?
5, 7, 8, 4.
5, 4, 7, 8, 4.
4 is the mode, sir.
Okay. What is Gaussian distribution?
Sir, Gauss's distribution. Sorry, sir.
Okay. I don't know whether I should ask it or not, but what is T distribution?
Sorry, sir.
P value? Anything? Okay, never mind. Leave it. So, you won second prize at college level debate competition.
Yes, sir.
So, in any debates, you can speak both for and against, right?
Yes, sir. I believe I can, sir.
Okay. Can you speak in favor of demonetization?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, demonetization, the objective behind it was to bring out the black money which is there in the money supply chain. So it was a good move, sir. And in any economy, sir, it is a tool to bring to identify the black money and can eradicate its problem, sir.
So 2 points.
Yeah, sir, it can also help us checking the illegal funding, the money laundering problem.
Okay. Can you debate against farm laws?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, farm laws, if we see, then they are primarily it is to enhance the private participation in agriculture. So agriculture in India, if we see, then the role of government is very critical because they always need welfare, sir. And I think it also ignores the issues of marginal farmers, small and marginal farmers, which constitute 85% of the total of farmers, sir.
How does it ignore their interests?
Because if we see, if private players come, they will directly negotiate with the bigger players in agriculture. So so the marginal and small farmers will be vulnerable to the prices set by them.
Okay. Can you debate against use of big data?
Use of big data. Big data is
What is big data?
If I have to analyze, sir, I think big data. Sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. You like to listen to Hindi songs and poetry.
Yes, sir.
What poetry do you hear?
Sir, Hindi motivational poetry, sir.
Means, can you name any poets, Hindi poets?
Yes, sir, it is. Ramdhari Singh Dinkar is there, sir. And sir, Gopal Das Neeraj is there. Sohan Lal Dwivedi is there, sir.
Ramdhari Singh Dinkar ji belongs to a very specific school of Hindi poetry.
I'm not sure, but can I make a guess, sir?
Yes, please.
Sir, he belongs to Chayavadi, I think.
Okay. Can you name any two books or poems written by Ramdhari Singh Dinkar ji?
Yes, sir. One is Sir Rasmi Rathi. It belongs. It describes the Pandavas and Krishna, their journey. And one other, I cannot recall right now, sir.
Okay, no problem. You were the faculty representative of science. What does it mean? Who is faculty representative?
Sir, faculty representative is the person who ensures the participation of that faculty in college programs, sir.
In college programs. What?
In co-curricular activities, but they are going, like there is some debate competition or say dance competition, say singing competition. So I used to ensure that there is participation from my faculty, sir.
So faculties also participate in college activities.
In my college, sir, there used to be this science faculty and commerce faculty and art faculty, and there was inter-faculty competition.
That is nice. So, can you name any poets of Chayavadi poetry? You talked about Chayavad, right?
Sir, one is Sumitra Nandan Pant. He belongs to Uttarakhand, sir.
Any other two?
And two, sir. Sir, Harivansh Rai Bachchan was one, sir.
Harivansh Rai Bachchan was Chayavadi poet.
Sorry, sir, I'm not sure about it.
Okay. Can you just recite any poem you like? Your favorite poem?
Yes, sir. Sir, I like this poem. I like this poem of sir. And I would Gopal Das Neeraj. I would say this chip chip asru bahane walo. I would like to recite, sir.
Please.
That chip chip asru bahane walo, मोती व्यर्थ लुटाने वालों, कुछ सपनों के टूटने से जीवन नहीं मरा करता है. सपना क्या है नयन सेज पर, सोता हुआ आँख का पानी, और उसका टूटना है यूं, जागे कच्ची नींद जवानी. गीली उम्र बढ़ाने वालों, डूबे बिना नहाने वालों, कुछ पानी के बह जाने से सावन नहीं मरा करता है.
Great. I would like to hand over to my fellow panelist.
All right, Kamlesh, you did your graduation in mathematics, physics, and statistics.
Yes, sir.
Right. Who was John Nash?
Sorry, sir.
Can you tell me?
Sorry, sir. I cannot.
All right.
I don't know.
Anything you've heard about game theory, etc.?
Which theory?
Game
sir?
theory.
Game theory. Sorry, sir.
Prisoner's dilemma.
Prisoner's dilemma.
Prisoner's dilemma.
Prisoner's dilemma. Sir, sorry, sir.
What is deterrence?
Sorry, sir. Actually, sir, it's been quite some time that I have graduated, so I cannot recall it.
Okay, can you tell me something about India's nuclear policy?
Yes, sir. So the basic principles of India's nuclear policy is no first use doctrine, and we are using it for peaceful civil uses. That is this, sir.
Okay. And let's talk about the COVID crisis that's going on.
Yes, sir.
First is, do you think it's something very spontaneous, or was it some sort of a bio warfare by China?
So there were some allegations that it is a biowarfare that is by China, and the officials from WHO has researched there. So no such thing came out of it. So I don't think that it was biowarfare from China, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me all the paramilitary forces that are deployed at various borders of India?
Yes, sir. Sir, the border guarding forces, if we say, then they are BSF, Assam Rifles, the
And the
SS
borders also. Just name what forces are deployed
BSF.
at what border.
Sir, BSF protects India, Pakistan, and India, Bangladesh border. SSB protects India, Nepal, and India, Bhutan border. And sir, ITBP protects India, Indo-China border at LAC and this McMahon line. And sir, in Arunachal's north, sir. And sir, this Assam Rifles protects India and Myanmar border.
Okay. And what about the marine
Yes,
protection?
sir. It is done by Indian Coast Guard, sir.
Is it throughout the ocean?
No, no, sir. It's only on the coast.
What is the jurisdiction of Coast Guard?
Uh, Sorry, sir. I don't know about that.
Okay. Okay, all right. Tell me about what is sustainable tourism.
So sustainable tourism is a way in which, sir, we are taking care of the environment when we are just touring some place. Like we are not just splitting litter and all these things, sir.
Do you know how much percentage of GDP does Uttarakhand gain from tourism? A rough idea.
Sorry, sir. I don't think I can make a guess
Acha,
about
in
it.
what ways can Uttarakhand promote sustainable tourism?
Uh, yes, sir. Sir, we can promote. Actually, there is also very huge opportunities for tourism there. If we talk about pilgrimage or if we talk about ecotourism, and any tourism, I think should be sustainable, sir. So for which I think we need to make awareness programs and sir, and various and the change in people's attitude needs to be done, sir. Uh, that's what I can think right now, sir.
Are there some rules and regulations that have been in place regarding sustainable tourism?
Sir, it's a fundamental duty of citizens that we need to protect our national heritage and we need to keep the environment
Acha,
clean.
name some tourism sites in Uttarakhand.
Sir, Uttarakhand is full of tourism sites, sir.
Yeah.
There are Char Dhams of Hindu religion. If we say the Chota Char Dham of Uttarakhand, sir, it's Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, and Yamunotri. Apart from that, sir, we have Valley of Flowers and Nanda Devi National Parks. That's a part of World Heritage List as well, UNESCO's World Heritage List as well. And sir, there's Rajaji National Park to visit. And sir, Oli, which is also known as the skiing capital of India. So, and sir, there is Rishikesh, which we can explore there. It offers a lot of adventure.
Okay. You like to cook also?
Yes, sir.
What do you cook?
Sir, I mostly cook for myself and North Indian food, sir.
North Indian you cook.
Yes.
What's the difference between if you're cooking North Indian and a South Indian dish? What's the characteristic difference?
Sir, in South India they make more use of rice, and what as far as I have explored, then I can think there's sir, the use of rice and the use of lemon is more there. And in North India, sir, the use of spices is more.
Spices. And where are spices grown more? In South India or in North India?
In South India, I guess, sir.
So why don't they use their own spices and we use it more?
Sorry, sir, I'm not clear about this point, whether it is correct. I was just guessing about it.
Okay. And what's the difference between a continental dish and an Indian dish?
A continental dish and an
Indian dish. Continental food. Is there a difference in palate?
sorry, sir, I don't have idea about it.
All right. And what about teaching? Where did you teach?
Sir, I teach. I live in Hyderpur, so I teach for my. I live in Rohini, sir, so I teach the class 10th students of my sir, my street, sir, my place.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. All right. All right. I think that's about it from my end. I'll transfer you to the next panel member.
So Kamlesh, can you tell me the mandate of Sashastra Seema Bal?
Yes, sir. So Sashastra Seema Bal protects the open borders of Nepal and Bhutan, and also, sir, it assists the various the intelligence agencies which are there, and the RAW is working there, and sir, again, and apart from that, sir, we have a presence in Naxalite areas as well. There are 2 battalions of SSB in Dantakaranya region of Chhattisgarh, and also in insurgency prone areas of Srinagar, sir.
All right. Do they have any role in disaster management as well?
Yes, sir. In Bihar, as we have seen that there are lots of floods that are there in Bihar, so they are always the first responders of floods in Bihar, sir.
Okay. And what are the major disasters to which the Uttarakhand state is vulnerable?
Yes, sir. So Uttarakhand is vulnerable to this floods and landslides, sir.
Anything else?
So there's cloudburst, there's floods, and actually the most of the area is prone to disasters. It is very sensitive area.
Earthquakes?
Yes, sir. It is earthquakes.
And why do you think that the vulnerability is high to earthquakes? What is the geographical reason behind it, the Uttarakhand being a very active seismic state?
Sir, it is located on the fault line, and
Is it a fault line?
yes, sir. There are two plates which are there, and the Uttarakhand is located on the fault line, sir. And apart from that, the hills are very steep, sir. The gradient is very high, so that's why it becomes prone to disasters.
And is there any man-made aspect of these disasters as well?
Yes, sir. Sir, outright construction, if we see, like even in case of the recently the case is going on about this Char Dham project, sir. So if we are just going on with any construction activity without making the environmental impact assessment, then it is there, sir.
So you just mentioned that project. What exactly? Can you just explain it? What project is that?
Yes, sir. So Char Dham project is a connectivity project for all-weather connectivity to four pilgrimage sites. Later, sir, Ministry of Defense is also is trying to use it for connecting India-China border.
And how much is the road width that they are asking for? And
So it is 900 kilometers.
now what is the width of the road that they
So
are
the
asking
width
for?
that Ministry of Defense is asking for is 8 to 10 meters. 10 meters width, 8 meters, 8 to 10 meters width is there. And but if we see the Ravi Chopra committee has recommended that it should not be more than 7 meters. 5.5 is walking distance and 1.5 is border.
Can you just recount the incidents that have happened over the last decade related to these disasters?
Yes, sir. We had seen this Kedarnath flood in 2013, and after that, this year itself, sir, it was the Tapovan glacier.
All right. So you swimming you have learned on your own, or was you took any professional coaching for it?
No, sir. I just learned it by myself.
You heard name of Mihir Sen.
Yes, sir.
Who was he?
Sir, Mihir Sen was the first Asian to swim through English Channel in 1958.
And who was the first Indian to cross the English Channel? Indian woman.
Sir, it was Bula Chaudhary, I think, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. So you can do all the strokes. What are the main major strokes in swimming?
Yes, sir. So there are majorly 4 strokes in swimming: butterfly, freestyle, breaststroke, and backstroke. And talking about me, sir, I can do freestyle and breaststroke, sir.
Why do you think that Indians have not been able to do so good in swimming at the level of Olympics? Do you know who is the most famous Olympian who has won most number of medals in Olympics in swimming?
Yes, sir. So it is Michael Phelps is there.
Yes. What do you think that what is lacking in us Indians that we are not able to give that kind of a performance in Olympics?
Sir, the basic deficiency is there about infrastructure. We don't have that good infrastructure when it comes to swimming, and I think the people's attitude about games, swimming in particular, and games in general, about other than cricket, is not that committed. So I think that is the reason, sir.
All right. So that's it from my side.
Kamlesh, you are a good candidate. On many fronts, you give good answers, which I was not expecting after you didn't give many replies as far as statistics is concerned.
Yes, sir.
So you have engaged in some areas and you know about those areas, which is good, which reflects in your answers. But again, since your DAF is reasonably carries a lot of terms,
Yes, sir.
so you should try to do some coverage of all those terms. For example, you should know the basics of statistics.
Yes, sir.
See, nobody is going, everyone can understand from your DAF that it has been quite a few years. But everybody expects you to know some basics.
Yes, sir.
So those basics you have to know, at least you for starting an educated conversation with anyone. Okay. So first of all, you have to pick every term from the DAF and ask yourself whether you know the basics of it. For examples, sir just asked about swimming.
Yes, sir.
Then I talked about poetry. So you knew quite a few terms. So that is reasonable. Nobody is going to ask you extremely detailed questions regarding it. So that is fine. So first thing, work on DAF. Pick every term, see what you can get about it from internet, from any past books that you have. So those basics should be ready. Secondly is regarding the articulation. See, one thing was that I noticed that you were making some faces like, means
Sorry.
means
Actually, there
it's-
was too much questions on my graduation which I was not prepared, sir.
so, and your facial expressions were varying from very frank smiles to an extremely serious. For examples, when you didn't know any question, so you got very serious, which is all right, expected also. But try to maintain a very stable posture. You are going to join Central Armed Police Forces, in which you may face many stressful situations.
Yes, sir.
So that maintaining your posture, maintaining your poise is extremely important here. Okay. So then I think your confidence was reasonable wherever you knew the answer, and your confidence levels were fluctuating according to your knowledge. So if you improve, if you fill those gaps from your DAF, then I think you are going to do reasonably well. Then I think otherwise you were a reasonable candidate, and I wish you all the best. Nitin, please.
All right, Kamlesh, I think, like sir said, you have a good presence. The posture and all is good, right? And communication skill you have good, right? So vocabulary is good. So only thing which I found could be improved is whenever a question is asked, just take a few seconds, try to understand what the question is about, try to understand the context in which the question is being asked. If you do not understand the question, just ask it outrightly. Don't start answering unless you have understood what the question is.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
So that is something that I've observed. Apart from that, a few minor changes can be done, a few minor improvements can be done in terms of your DAF preparedness, right? So although you have mentioned a lot of things, so that increases your vulnerability also, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you will have to do some research on these topics and make sure that at least some level of preparedness is there, right? Apart from that, I think there's a fair chance. So all the best from my side. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I think both the panelists have already made it clear. There are certain aspects which you need to work on, and that is more or less the general awareness level. There are certain things, that you should be aware of. Although this personality test, like we say, it's a personality test, it's not just a test of your knowledge, but there are certain things that, that do not leave a very good impression if you are not aware of them. So just work on those things. You should know your state, you should know your graduation, at least the basics aspect. Nobody is asking to solve the question or a very tough problem, but you should know the basics. Otherwise, just it gives you a kind of the impression that it makes on the panelist, it gives a negative kind of a feeling. But overall, the way you carried yourself, it was very good. The body language has been positive. You were fairly confident when you were speaking. So there is no major change that you have to require. It's just that if you work on the things, you raise your awareness levels, you will be even more confident when you are going to the actual interview. So just spend the last few days on brushing up your DAF and just read whatever you can. whatever the keywords that are there in the def, just do some search on it and prepare it. But overall, it was good. I wish you all the best
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
final interview.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.